What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Hey, check this out, man. My face itching and everything. Hey, y'all see that? Y'all see something? Anyway, look here, man. This video right here is a trip, and we're gonna. Oh, shucks. That's Shredder, y'all. Hey. Easy work. Easy work. That's Shredder. And the bass player is called Plucker. And now we're going to continue on with our video. What's up? What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Every now and then I like to show a little bit of skills of stuff I like to do and stuff, man, and crazy. Superhero. I'm doing a superhero. The bass player is a superhero, and it's a nice plot behind it. And his enemy is a lead guitar player. His name is Shredder. Anyway, check this out, man. Brother feeling a little, I don't feel, my stomach ain't hurting, man. I just don't feel up to par. How about that? Hey, Katt Williams calls out Bryshere Gray case after Diddy's sentence. Bryshere case. This little guy right here, he realized early that all that faking ain't putting no money in my bank account, and I'm broke. So he got his little chain on. All them rappers with the chains on. One rapper said his chain cost $100,000. I said, good God Almighty, are you crazy? Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Shout out to the enders, and let's check it out.
Not Diddy going from facing 100 years in prison to now getting sentenced to just 4 years in prison. Baby, one thing about rich folks, they can get away with their crimes every time. According to Katt Williams, this is exactly why Bryshere pulled back with his lawsuit against Diddy and Will Smith and decided to become an actor instead. He knew they would play in his face just like they just did to Cassie and all the other victims who came forward. Jaguar Wright was literally at Diddy's first ever hearing to specifically call for Bryshere's story to be taken seriously by the prosecutors because she believed it could change the outcome of Diddy's case, but no one took her seriously. The allegations linking Diddy and Will Smith to Bryshere's trauma isn't new, and that's exactly why folks are shocked that Diddy has still not been charged for it. In fact, Bryshere isn't the only male celebrity who was touched inappropriately. However, Katt and Jaguar have been speaking in his case so much that he has pretty much become the face of all the young men who have been rumored to be touched by Diddy. Word on the street is the reason Katt has been on this case for so long is because he also faced his fair share of industry creeps trying to get him to spread his cheeks, but unlike Bryshere, they didn't succeed in destroying him. In fact, Katt claims Harvey Weinstein tried to force him into a freak-off, but he wasn't, and still isn't rocking with that freak-off mess. Bryshere was handed over to Diddy and Will right after he blew up on Empire by his then-manager Charlie Mack, with the promise that Will and Diddy were going to mentor him into a big Hollywood star. At the time, a lot of people celebrated it because it genuinely seemed like a good thing. Will was going to help him sharpen up his acting, and Diddy would open up more doors for his music career. But it turns out that while we were thinking Bryshere was getting mentored, other things were being done to him, and mentorship was the very last thing on that list. This really shouldn't have been a surprise since around the time Diddy was supposedly mentoring Bryshere, he was under investigation for touching lil boys. According to a U.S. court filing, federal investigators, James Rosemond, the music manager turned cocaine kingpin, was reportedly questioned about the sexual preferences of entertainers, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having sexual relationships with underage boys. The thing is, at the time, he successfully buried the story before it got big, so people didn't know Bryshere was walking into a trap until after it was too late. It was until Jaguar blew the whistle about it before people finally realized what was actually going on. She claims that on one occasion, Bryshere and Meek were heads screaming while running out of into their house in the name of a mentorship, only to end up SA-ing them.
Bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills.
What?
Bryshere Gray.
Wow.
Left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Jaguar also alluded to Will possibly doing the exact same thing to his son Jaden, and claiming that this is probably why Jaden decided to move out of the house when he was just 15 years old.
15 years old.
Doing things to boys and did stuff to your son, and you ain't do shit about it. Bilal told me everything.
Their good friend who
Bilal told me, Jaden, he told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child.
What? Oh my God.
Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
In that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said
everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bryshere and he Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal. Now I don't give no how far in the desert you run. You'll go from a Philly nigga to a sand, they'll still get you.
He's Philly though, Jay. It's Philly.
You know, he Meek Milk. As far as I'm concerned, he Meek Milk. I ain't calling him Mill no more. That's milk. That's Meek Milk. Added to the honeycomb. You got a meal.
So you believe the Dwayne Martin story that could have happened?
Of course. Everybody know that shit.
Oh, but Jaguar wasn't done yet. She came back again and revealed that the reason Bryshere's mom, Andrea, allowed all these traumatic things to be done to her son is because she wanted to exploit his pain to write a book that no one bought.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'm gonna kick you in your and I'm gonna go to work North Philly style. Kill. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell.
That didn't
I
sell.
hope the new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You CI.
Oh my God, Jaguar.
Jaguar even said at some point Andrea came to her, begging her to help with Bryshere, and she told her to get Bryshere far away from Charlie Mack, since he was the link between Bryshere and Will and Diddy. But guess what? Andrea didn't do it.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the fuck away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew what Will did to him.
Damn. Wow.
But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gate. You and Charlie Mack.
Jaguar also said the reason why they are encouraging Bryshere's new career as a OF actor is because they want people to think his crazy is that when he comes out with his lawsuit against Diddy and Will, no one will take him seriously because they'll think he's not mentally stable. And get this, y'all. Jaguar even went as far as claiming that there is a secret tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere having a freak off.
See, they trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on, man. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up wrong, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old, they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry, the Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
After Empire ended, Bryshere's whole career just fell apart. Instead of him getting multiple hit records and big movie roles, all we heard about were mugshots and court cases. He was arrested many times, with the latest being in 2022, when he was found guilty for aggravated assault against a woman he was hooking up with at the time. Prior to that, he had also been arrested back in 2020 after his wife, yes, you heard right, his wife, run to a gas station asking for help because he put hands on her and strangled her. When the cops showed up at his house, it took hours of negotiations between the SWAT team and Bryshere to get him to come out of the house.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had a for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Now with the new revelations being made by Katt Williams, it looks like Bryshere was preyed on and used by industry men. Bryshere tried to get justice for what was done to him a while back when he filed a $50 million lawsuit, but he pulled back as soon as Diddy and Will's people allegedly sent some threats his way. This tea was spilled by a blind item a while back, and they said, I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs. And remember what I said earlier about Jaguar Wright crashing Diddy's trial to talk about Bryshere? She did that during his first court hearing, and baby, she had a lot to say. She even came with her own security because she was afraid that Diddy's people would follow her back home to finish her off if she came alone. During an interview with the press, she said Diddy's downfall was going to lead to the fall of other sick people in the industry, including all those who helped him touch on Bryshere.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
And despite everything Katt and Jaguar did, Diddy and his lawyers still found a way to let him off the hook. He was sentenced to 50 months in prison, which is just about 4 years. Mind you, this man was literally facing up to 100 years at some point, and his lawyers still managed to find a way to slash it down to 4 years. Even then, they weren't satisfied, arguing that Diddy had no business being in prison at all. A lot of people were disappointed with his sentencing, including Katt Williams. Katt was one of the people leading the exposing of Diddy, so he took this very personally. According to sources, he's disappointed by this, and he claims this is exactly the reason Bryshere and the other victims who didn't come out have continued to remain silent. They already knew the justice system was going to play in their face, just like how it has played in the face of the victims who did come forward. One person said, he gave kids alcohol and more to R-word them. He quite a few people and more, and getting only 4 years. For those things, he should be given 50 to 60 years in prison, not 4 years. And what about Jay-Z and Diddy's other friends who also did the same thing that he did to the kids? Another person said, that sentencing must have been sentimentalized. 50 months? Must be freaking kidding me. Dude should have been sentenced to 50 years. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Diddy getting off with just 4 years and $500,000 fine instead of the initial 100 years? And do y'all think this is why Bryshere never came out with that alleged lawsuit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.
Oh my gracious. We talking about messy. Watch that other messy video. Golly, man. I'm hoping this dude's gonna be okay. He seemed like he got it together now. Forget the money and all that stuff. I saw a couple of videos he put up, and he was talking like, all this stuff is fake, man. You know, it ain't real. It ain't this. He was trying to get his message together to let other people know it ain't all that cracked up to be what it is. Look here, man, I'm going to get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.